At one time or another, most of us have been in at least a fender bender, if not something worse. But there are steps you need to take to look out for you and your property, and most of all, your legal rights, if that were to occur. Our friend C. Mark Warren's joining us here to talk about
Morning,
that.
Chip.
Mark, good
How
morning,
are you, sir? Good to see
Doing
you.
very well. 5 of the big steps that we need to know if we get into that proverbial fender bender, doesn't matter whether it's in a mall parking lot, side of the road, or on the interstate.
You know, it's going to happen sooner or later.
Sure.
Sooner or later, it's going to happen. And when it does happen, you have to kind of, number one, I always say just stop. Just stop. When it happens, stop. Take a deep breath, because no matter if it's a big one or a bad one, it's going to rattle you.
Yeah.
I mean, you get kind of traumatized.
Sure.
I mean, it can be a minor fender bender, but when it happens, it's going to traumatize you. So just stop. Don't continue to drive down the street. Stop. Take a deep breath. Say a little prayer saying, "Thank you, Jesus, that I'm okay."
Yeah.
And move on then. And then, so first off, stop. Take a deep breath. Gather yourself. And then assess the area around you. Secure the area around you.
Always keep in mind situational awareness.
Absolutely. I mean, if you're on the interstate versus a county road, different situations call for different actions. Number one, the one common action is hit the hazard lights.
Right.
Immediately. Hit the hazard lights, you know, and if you're able to, if your car's drivable and you're able to pull off the side of the road, do that. But once again, it's situational. Situational. If you're on the interstate, I-75, and there's cars buzzing by you, you stay in your vehicle.
Absolutely.
The vehicle is the safest place to be in that scenario. Call 911. Hazard lights, call 911. Put them on notice. And I always say, if you're able to, it's always be a good neighbor.
Right.
I mean, check on the other driver.
Sure.
If you're at fault, if you're not at fault, you know.
Don't get out of the car.
If you're on the interstate.
Yeah.
But if you're able to check on the driver, please check on the driver. Just make sure they're okay. It's never a bad thing to apologize.
Sure.
You're not apologizing for your actions. You're apologizing that the accident occurred.
Right.
And really, quite frankly, Chip, you're less likely to get a lawyer involved, even if it was your fault, if you apologize to the other driver. If you show some empathy to the other driver, they're less likely to call a lawyer down the road. So apologize to the other driver for what happened. It's always a good rule of thumb to be a good neighbor in that regard. Pictures. I mean,
Everybody's got a camera on their phone
and
now.
really, you know, 2 years ago, we would not expect as many pictures as we get now, because if you're able to take photographs of the area, of the property damage, of the other car, of your car, take some pictures to document the area and also the damage done to your vehicle.
But we should also point out, do not get into an argument
No.
with the other driver.
No, and that's just being smart.
Well,
I mean,
you know, a lot of times you'll see one driver that gets into a fender bender, and
I know.
there's 3 other folks in the other car.
absolutely.
And that math doesn't work.
No, it doesn't. And if you're approaching the other driver and the other driver appears agitated, I mean, don't approach the other driver.
Get back in your car.
Get back in your car
Lock the door.
and wait for the law enforcement to get there.
Because our police have a great response time on situations
Absolutely.
like that, even if you're in one of the incorporated
Yes.
areas or if you're out on the interstate.
It's
They've got a great
amazing.
response time.
You're right, Chip. I mean, that they are so Johnny on the spot. So, you know, within 5 minutes, they'll be there anyway to take care of the situation, investigate the accident scene. Next time I'm on the show, we'll go on the other 6 tips to have, other 5 or 6 tips to have.
There are certain things that you do need to do. And again, protect yourself, protect the ones in the vehicle with you, and protect your rights. And if you don't know about what you should do, this list is on the Warren and Griffin website.
Absolutely.
You can always find that out. You can always find out more. It's just a phone call away or a mouse click. WarrenandGriffin.com. WarrenandGriffin.com. Or the phone number, Mark.
265-4878, 265-HURT.
265-HURT. Mark Warren, thank you so much.
Chip.
Always a pleasure. We'll see you back here next Tuesday, and we will see you on the other side of this commercial break. We're talking UTC homecoming. Go Mocs, and we'll go there next.